They say love has no language. They say hearts speak when words fail. But what they don't tell you is that sometimes silence can cost you everything. My name is Mark. I'm 42. From Denver, and I learned the hardest lesson of my life in a small apartment in Bangkok. When someone tells you they're carrying your child, you believe them. When they ask for money to take care of that child, you give it. When they smile and call you their hero, you think you've finally found your purpose. But what happens when none of it was real? What happens when you realize you weren't a father, or even a boyfriend? You were just an ATM with a heartbeat. If you like stories that cut deep and show the truth about love, betrayal, and second chances, hit that subscribe button and comment where you're watching from. Trust me, you'll want to hear how this ends. I met Ploy on a Tuesday. Funny how you remember details like that when your whole world is about to flip upside down. I was sitting in a coffee shop near Sukhumvit, trying to make sense of spreadsheets that looked like hieroglyphics after my third week in Bangkok. The company had sent me here to set up a new distribution center, and honestly, I was drowning. "Excuse me, you need help with computer?" I looked up and saw her, 21 years old, wearing a simple white dress, holding her laptop like it might bite her. Her English was broken, but her smile was perfect. I'm not the kind of guy who believes in love at first sight, but something about her made me close my laptop and really look. "Actually, I think I need help with everything," I said. She laughed and sat down. "I am Ploy. I study business at university. Maybe I help you?" That's how it started. Not with romance or grand gestures, but with Excel formulas and cultural translation. She helped me understand why my Thai suppliers kept saying yes when they meant no. She explained why my meetings never started on time, and why everyone smiled even when they disagreed. "In Thailand, we not like to make you lose face," she said, pointing at a contract clause I'd been fighting over for days. "Better to say yes first, then find solution later." Within 2 hours, she'd solved problems that had been eating at me for weeks. I bought her dinner that night, not because I was trying to seduce her, but because I was grateful. She'd made my job possible. "Your wife must be very lucky," she said over pad thai. "No wife," I said. "Divorced 2 years ago." Something shifted in her eyes. Not pity, but understanding. "My boyfriend left me last month. Said I worked too much. Not pretty enough for his friends." We talked until the restaurant closed. About work, about loneliness, about being in your 20s and 40s and both feeling lost. She told me about her family's small farm in Aizen province, about studying finance while working 3 part-time jobs. I told her about my ex-wife who left me for her yoga instructor, about working 60-hour weeks to avoid going home to an empty house. "You very kind man," she said as I walked her to the train station. "Most Farang think Thai girl only want money. But you ask about my dreams. I didn't think I was being kind. I was just being human. But maybe that was rare enough." 2 days later, she texted me, "Mark, I make mistake in formula yesterday. Can meet for lunch." There was no mistake. We both knew it. But I said yes anyway. That lunch became dinner. Dinner became weekend trips to temples and markets. She showed me a Thailand I never would have found in guidebooks. I showed her movies from my childhood, taught her to make my grandmother's spaghetti sauce. "You make me feel smart," she said one evening as we sat by the river. "Not just pretty or useful. Smart. You are smart, Ploy. Smarter than most people I work with." She kissed me then. Soft and careful, like she was asking permission, I kissed her back like I was giving it. 3 months in, she introduced me to her friends. They spoke rapid Thai around me, glancing over like they were discussing something important. Ploy would translate bits and pieces. "They say you different from other Farang." More serious. "Is that good or bad?" "Good," she said, squeezing my hand. "They think maybe you stay in Thailand long time." The truth was, I was thinking about it. My assignment was supposed to last 6 months, but my boss had hinted at a permanent position. Bangkok was starting to feel like home. Ploy was starting to feel like home. But there were moments that confused me, like when she insisted on paying for her own meals, then asked me to help her with her mother's medical bills, or when she'd disappear for entire weekends to visit family, then come back with expensive new clothes. Thai culture very complicated, she'd say when I asked questions. Family always come first. You understand? I wanted to understand. I tried to understand. Maybe that was my first mistake. By month 4, I was sleeping at her apartment more nights than my hotel. It wasn't planned. It just happened naturally, the way good relationships do. She'd cook these incredible meals after her classes, and we'd sit on her tiny balcony watching Bangkok's chaos slow down into evening calm. "Mark, can I ask you something personal?" she said one night. "Of course. You ever want children?" The question hit me sideways. My ex-wife and I had tried for years. Fertility treatments, specialists, hope followed by disappointment, until it nearly broke us. It was one of the reasons she left. "I did once," I said carefully. "What about you? In Thailand, woman without children is, how you say, incomplete. My mother always asks when I give her grandchildren." She was curled against my chest, tracing patterns on my skin. Something about the moment felt significant, like we were crossing into deeper water. "Would you want children with me?" she asked. My heart stopped, not because the question scared me, but because it didn't. "Yes," I said. "I think I would." She looked up at me with tears in her eyes. "Really? Even though I'm not American?" "Ploy, that's not how love works. Love doesn't care about passports." She kissed me then like she was memorizing me. Later, much later, she whispered, "I love you, Mark. I never say that to Farang before. I love you too." And I meant it. God help me. I meant every word. The next few weeks felt different. She introduced me to her family via video call. Her mother, a tiny woman with Ploy's smile, spoke no English, but nodded approvingly when Ploy translated our conversation. Her father, weathered from years of farm work, asked serious questions about my job, my intentions. "He want to know if you marry me," Ploy translated, blushing. "Tell him I'm thinking about it." Ploy's eyes went wide. "You serious?" "Dead serious." That night, she cooked my favorite meal and wore the dress from our first date. We talked about the future like it was something we were building together. She wanted to finish her degree first, maybe do a master's program. I told her about the permanent position my company was offering. "We could make this work," I said. "Really work. In Thailand or America, wherever you want. I just want to be with you." She cried again. Happy tears, I thought. Everything felt possible. Then came the phone call that changed everything. I was in a meeting when she called, sobbing so hard I could barely understand her Thai-English mix. "Ploy, slow down. What happened?" "My father. Hospital. Very sick. They say maybe heart attack." I left the meeting immediately, found her at her apartment packing frantically. "I have to go home," she said. "Right now. But plane ticket very expensive. And hospital. How much do you need?" She looked at me with this expression I'd never seen before, desperate but trying not to show it. "Maybe 50,000 baht. I pay you back. I promise." 50,000 baht, about $1,500. Not pocket change, but not impossible either. "Don't worry about paying me back," I said, transferring the money from my phone. "Family is family." She threw her arms around me. "You saved my father's life. I never forget this." She was gone for a week. During that time, I realized how much my life had reorganized itself around her. I ate terrible takeout and watched Netflix alone, counting hours until she came back. When she finally returned, she seemed different. Quieter. More serious. "How's your father?" Better, she said. Surgery was success, but very expensive. My family, we owe so much money now. Over the next month, there were more emergencies. Her brother's motorcycle accident, her mother's diabetes medication, university fees that were suddenly due early. Each time, I helped without question. Not because I had to, but because that's what people do for the ones they love. "You too good to me," she'd say after each transfer. "I don't deserve man like you." Yes, you do. This is what love looks like. But late at night, when she thought I was asleep, I'd catch her on the phone speaking rapid Thai with someone. Her voice would get tense, almost angry. When I asked about it, she'd say it was just family stress. Thai family very complicated, always some drama. I accepted that explanation because I wanted to, because the alternative was thinking thoughts I wasn't ready to think. Looking back, that was probably when I should have asked harder questions. But I was in love, and love makes you stupid in ways you don't recognize until it's too late. 2 months later, Ploy missed her period. She didn't tell me immediately. I found out because she left the pregnancy test on the bathroom counter. I was brushing my teeth when I saw it. 2 pink lines staring back at me like a message from the universe. My hands started shaking, not from fear, but from something I couldn't name yet. "Ploy?" I called out. She appeared in the doorway, tears streaming down her face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I know we never planned this. I know you probably think I try to trap you." I set down my toothbrush and pulled her into my arms. "Is that what you think? That I'd be angry? I don't know what to think. We only together 6 months. Too fast for baby." I held her face in my hands. "Ploy, look at me. I'm 42 years old. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. For you, for this. Really, we're going to be parents." The next few hours were a blur of crying, laughing, and making plans we had no business making. We talked about names, about whether we'd stay in Thailand or move to America, about how to tell our families. It felt surreal and perfect and terrifying all at once. "My mother will be so happy," Ploy said. "First grandchild in 10 years. What about us? Are you happy?" She kissed me softly. "Scared, but happy. You will be good father, Mark. I know this." That night, we called her parents together. Her mother cried tears of joy. Her father asked when we were getting married. We hadn't discussed marriage yet, but it felt like the obvious next step. "We should do it soon," Ploy said after we hung up. "Before baby comes. Better for visa also." She was right about the visa. My tourist visa was running out, and getting married would solve a lot of legal complications. But more than that, it felt right. I was ready to commit to this life, this woman, this family we were creating. The first doctor's appointment was magical. Seeing that tiny heartbeat on the ultrasound screen made everything real in a way that pregnancy tests couldn't. I cried right there in the clinic. "Baby is healthy," the doctor said in careful English. "Maybe 8 weeks. Mother must eat good food, take vitamins, no stress." As we left the clinic, Ploy was quieter than I expected. "You okay?" I asked. "Just thinking about money. Baby very expensive. Clinic want 20,000 baht just for checkups." 20,000 baht wasn't unreasonable for prenatal care. But I could see the worry in her eyes. "Don't stress about money," I said. "I'll handle everything. The baby, the wedding, all of it." "You sure?" Thai wedding cost maybe 100,000 baht. American wedding even more. 100,000 baht. About $3,000. For most people, that's a significant expense. But I'd been saving money living in Bangkok. My company was paying for my hotel, and I'd been putting away most of my salary. "Let's do it right," I said. "This is our once-in-a-lifetime moment." Over the next few weeks, wedding planning consumed our lives. Ploy wanted to do it properly, with both Buddhist and civil ceremonies. Her family would come from Aisan province. We'd need to book venues, arrange catering, Buy traditional Thai outfits. Maybe we keep American weddings small, she suggested. Just family ceremony here. Then maybe later we have party in America for your friends. That made sense. My family was scattered across different states anyway, and most of my friends wouldn't be able to travel to Thailand on short notice. But the costs kept adding up. Traditional Thai clothing for both families, gold jewelry for the ceremony, dowry payments to her parents that were supposedly symbolic, but somehow required actual cash, food for extended family members I'd never met. I know is expensive, Ploy said one evening as we went over the budget, but this how we do wedding in Thailand. Show respect to family, to tradition. I wanted to respect her culture. I wanted our child to grow up understanding their heritage. So when she asked for another 50,000 baht for ceremony preparations, I transferred it without argument. You are best man in world, she said, kissing me. Our baby's so lucky to have you as father. But something was bothering me. Small things that didn't add up, like how she never let me come with her to wedding vendors, or how her phone would ring constantly with people wanting to discuss ceremony details, but always in Thai, always out of my earshot. Trust me, she'd say when I offered to help with arrangements. Thai wedding very complicated. Better I handle with my family. I trusted her because I loved her, because we were building something together, because I was going to be a father. Looking back, I should have insisted on being more involved, should have asked to meet the vendors myself, to see receipts, to understand where all that money was actually going, but I was overwhelmed with work, excited about the pregnancy, and trying to navigate a culture I was still learning. Besides, what reason did I have not to trust her? She was carrying my child. The first real warning sign came during our third doctor visit. I'd been in back-to-back meetings all morning, so Ploy went alone. When I met her afterward, she seemed upset. Doctors say baby is fine, but I need special vitamins, she said, very expensive ones, maybe 15,000 baht. 15,000 baht for vitamins seemed excessive, but I didn't want to take any chances with our baby's health. Did he write a prescription? I asked. Thai doctor different from America. They just tell you what to buy. Something felt off about that explanation, but I transferred the money anyway. When I suggested coming to the next appointment with her, she got defensive. You very busy with work? She said. I can handle doctor visits myself. That weekend, I decided to surprise her with a romantic dinner. I showed up at her apartment with flowers and takeout from her favorite restaurant. She wasn't there, but her neighbor mentioned seeing her leave with a young Thai man earlier that day. When she came back hours later, I was sitting on her couch waiting. Who were you with today? I asked. Her face went pale. Just my cousin. Family business. Family business? My uncle want to meet you. But today not good time. Maybe next week. I wanted to believe her, but her body language was all wrong. She wouldn't meet my eyes, kept fidgeting with her phone. Ploy, if something's wrong you can tell me. We're partners now. We're having a baby together. Nothing wrong, she said quickly. Just tired. Baby make me very tired. Over the next few weeks, I started paying closer attention. Ploy's phone was constantly buzzing with messages she'd quickly dismiss. She'd receive phone calls and walk to another room to answer them. Her laptop was always closed when I came over, even though she used to work on assignments with me right there. The pregnancy symptoms seemed inconsistent too. Some days she'd be violently nauseous. Other days she'd eat spicy food without any problems. When I mentioned it, she said every pregnancy was different. My friend Nim had no morning sickness at all, she explained. My other friend Lek was sick for 6 months. You worry too much. Maybe I was worrying too much. My ex-wife always said I overthought everything, but my instincts were screaming that something was wrong. The breaking point came when I found a receipt in her purse. Not snooping, just looking for gum, but there it was. A bill from a medical clinic I'd never heard of, dated the same day she said she went for her checkup at our regular doctor. "What's this?" I asked, showing her the receipt. Her face went completely white. I go to different clinic for second opinion. Our doctor very young. I want to make sure baby okay. Why didn't you tell me? I would have come with you. You were working. I didn't want to bother you. But the receipt was for something called a consultation fee, not prenatal care. And it was for an amount that didn't match any of the money I'd been giving her for medical expenses. Ploy, I need you to be honest with me. What's really going on? She started crying then. Not the happy tears I'd gotten used to, but desperate, panicked sobs. You think I'm lying to you? I think you're scared to tell me something. Whatever it is, we can handle it together. There's nothing to tell. You don't trust me anymore because I'm Thai, because I'm young. The conversation spiraled into our first real fight. She accused me of being controlling and suspicious. I accused her of being secretive and deceptive. We both said things we couldn't take back. Maybe this not working, she said finally. Maybe you should find American woman who easier to understand. That's not what I want. I want you. I want our family. Then trust me. Stop asking so many questions. We made up that night. But something had shifted between us. The easy intimacy was replaced by careful politeness. She'd answer my questions, but only the questions I actually asked. I'd transfer money when she needed it, but I started keeping track of amounts and dates. Trust, once broken, is almost impossible to repair completely. But we were having a baby together. We were getting married in 6 weeks. We had to make it work. Didn't we? 3 weeks before our wedding, I made a decision that changed everything. I decided to surprise Ploy by handling some of the wedding arrangements myself. She'd been so stressed about coordinating everything, and I wanted to take some pressure off her. I started with the photographer she'd booked. When I called to confirm details, the woman on the phone sounded confused. Wedding photographer? I'm sorry, but we don't have any booking under that name for next month. Maybe it's under my name? Mark Stevens? No, sir, nothing under that name either. Are you sure you have the right studio? I double-checked the business card Ploy had shown me. Same name, same number, but no booking. Next, I called the venue where we were supposed to have our reception. Same story. No reservation, no deposit, no record of our wedding at all. My hands were shaking as I called the hotel where Ploy's family was supposed to stay. Nothing. The catering company she'd hired. Nothing. The Buddhist temple, where we were having our ceremony. Nothing. None of it existed. I drove to Ploy's apartment in a daze. She was in class, but her roommate let me wait inside. I sat on the couch where we'd planned our future together and tried to make sense of what I'd discovered. Maybe there was an explanation. Maybe she'd booked everything under different names. Or through a wedding planner I didn't know about. Maybe this was all a misunderstanding. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. When Ploy came home and found me there, she could tell immediately that something was wrong. Mark, why you look so sad? I called the photographer today. And the venue. And the hotel. The color drained from her face so quickly I thought she might faint. I can explain, she whispered. I really hope you can, because right now, it looks like our entire wedding is fake. She sat down across from me, wrapping her arms around herself like she was trying to hold herself together. The wedding is real, she said quietly. I had to change some things. What kind of things? The venues were too expensive. I found cheaper options, but I didn't want you to worry about money. So where are we actually getting married? Silence. Ploy, where is our wedding happening? I don't know yet. I'm still looking. The room felt like it was spinning. You don't know yet? It's in 3 weeks. I can find something. There are many places available. What about your family? What about the Buddhist ceremony? What about the 100,000 baht I gave you for arrangements? She started crying then, but they weren't the innocent tears I was used to. These were guilty tears. Panicked tears. I used the money for other things, she admitted. What other things? Family emergencies, my father's medicine, my brother's school fees. What about the pregnancy, Ploy? Is that real too? The question hung in the air between us, like a loaded gun. For a moment, I thought she might tell me the truth. Her mouth opened like she was about to confess something enormous. Then she doubled down. Of course, baby is real. How can you ask me that? Show me the ultrasound pictures. What? The ultrasound pictures from your appointments. Show me. They're at my mother's house. I sent them to her. Show me your medical records then. Show me something that proves you're pregnant. She stood up suddenly, her whole body shaking. I can't believe you ask me this. I carry your baby and you treat me like criminal. I'm not treating you like a criminal. I'm asking for proof of something that should be easy to prove. You want proof? Fine. We go to doctor tomorrow. Together. You can see baby on screen yourself. Okay, let's do that. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in my hotel bed staring at the ceiling, trying to reconcile the woman I loved with the woman who might have been lying to me for months. Everything felt like it was built on quicksand. The next morning, Ploy called me in tears. Mark, I'm bleeding. Something wrong with baby. I'm at hospital now. I raced to the hospital she named, my heart pounding with fear and guilt. What if she really was pregnant? What if my accusations had stressed her so much that she was having a miscarriage? But when I got to the hospital, the receptionist had no record of Ploy being admitted, no record of her being treated, no record of her even being there. I called her phone. It went straight to voicemail. I called again. Voicemail. I sent text messages. No response. For 3 days, Ploy completely disappeared. No calls, no texts, no showing up at her apartment or her university. It was like she'd vanished from the face of the earth. On the 4th day, she finally called me back. Mark, I'm sorry. I was so scared. I thought you hate me. Where are you? Are you okay? What happened at the hospital? I'm at my family's house. The bleeding stopped, but doctors say I need to rest for a few weeks. Very dangerous time for baby. Which doctor? Which hospital? Local clinic in my province. You wouldn't know it. Every answer led to more questions. Every explanation created new inconsistencies. But she was talking about our baby like it was real, making plans for when she'd come back to Bangkok, asking me to be patient while she recovered. I wanted to believe her so desperately that I almost convinced myself I was being paranoid. Almost. But that night, I made a decision that would finally give me the truth I was afraid to find. I hired a private investigator. Not because I wanted to catch Ploy in a lie, but because I needed to know the truth so I could figure out how to help her. If she was really pregnant and scared, I wanted to support her. If she was in some kind of trouble that made her feel like she had to lie to me, I wanted to fix it. The investigator was a middle-aged Thai woman named Siraporn, who spoke perfect English. She'd worked on cases involving foreign men and Thai women before. This is more common than you think, she told me during our first meeting. But every situation is different. Sometimes the woman is genuine but desperate. Sometimes it's more complicated. I just need to know if she's really pregnant. I understand. Give me a week. That week was the longest of my life. Ploy called me every day from her family's house, updating me on her condition, talking about baby names, asking me to send money for medical expenses and nutritious food. Each conversation felt like a test I was failing. Doctors say baby is boy, she told me on Wednesday. You happy about having son? Of course I'm happy. When can I come visit you? Maybe next week. When I feel stronger. You can meet my whole family properly. I'd like that. But Friday morning, Siriporn called with preliminary findings that made my stomach drop. Mr. Stevens, I need you to sit down for this conversation. Just tell me. Your girlfriend has been in Bangkok this entire week. She hasn't been to her family's province at all. That's impossible. I've been talking to her every day. I have photos of her leaving her apartment yesterday morning. I followed her to a clinic. But not for prenatal care. It appears to be some kind of medical consultation, but for what? I'm not sure yet. Keep going. The wedding vendors you called. She never contacted any of them, but I found records of her making several large cash deposits into different bank accounts over the past 2 months. The amounts match what you've been giving her. Whose bank accounts? I'm still working on that, but Mr. Stevens, there's something else. I spoke to her university. She dropped out 3 months ago. She hasn't been attending classes at all. The world tilted sideways. What? Financial reasons? According to their records. But that means every time she told you she was in class, she was somewhere else. I hung up the phone and drove straight to Ploy's apartment. If she was really in Bangkok, I was going to confront her face to face. Her roommate answered the door. Ploy not here, she said in broken English. She go to visit family. When did she leave? Maybe 4 days ago? But Siriporn had photos of Ploy leaving this same apartment yesterday. Her roommate was lying too. That evening, Ploy called me as usual. How are you feeling today? I asked. Little bit better. Baby moving around a lot. I think he knows his daddy misses him. Ploy, I need to ask you something. And I need you to tell me the truth. Okay. Are you really at your family's house right now? Long pause. Yes, of course. Why, you ask? Because I have a photo of you leaving your apartment in Bangkok yesterday morning. The silence stretched so long I thought the call had dropped. Ploy? Are you there? I come to Bangkok to get medicine, then go back to family house. What medicine? Special vitamins for baby. Only available in Bangkok. From which pharmacy? I don't remember name. Small place near Ploy apartment. Every lie led to another lie. I was exhausted from trying to keep track of them all. Ploy, I'm coming to see you tomorrow. Give me your family's address. Tomorrow not good time. My father's still very sick. Maybe next week better. I don't care if it's a good time. I'm coming tomorrow. Give me the address. She started crying. Why, you don't trust me. I carry your baby and you treat me like stranger. Because nothing you're telling me adds up. The wedding vendors don't know us. The university says you dropped out. You're supposedly in your province, but you're actually in Bangkok. I don't know what's real anymore. Everything is real. Our love is real. Our baby is real. Then prove it. Come back to Bangkok tomorrow and we'll go to the doctor together. We'll see our baby on the ultrasound screen and put all this confusion behind us. I can't travel yet. Doctors say too dangerous. Which doctor? What's his name? What hospital? You wouldn't know it. Very small clinic. I'll find it. Give me the name. That's when she hung up on me. Siriporn called me an hour later with her final report. Mr. Stevens, I have definitive answers for you, but you're not going to like them. Tell me everything. Your girlfriend is not pregnant. I confirmed this with a clinic employee who knows her. She's been coming in for birth control injections every 3 months for the past year. My legs gave out. I had to sit down on the floor of my hotel room. The money you've been sending her has been going to support a boyfriend she's had for 2 years. He's currently unemployed, and she's been using your payments to cover his rent, his motorcycle payments, and his gambling debts. How do you know all this? I spoke to her roommate, who felt bad about lying to you. Apparently, Ploy told everyone you were just a wealthy foreigner who was easy to manipulate. She never expected it to go on this long. What about her family? The medical emergencies? Her father is fine, healthy as can be. I spoke to neighbors in her village. There haven't been any medical emergencies or hospital stays. I felt like I was going to throw up. So, none of it was real. I'm sorry, Mr. Stevens. None of it was real. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I just sat in my hotel room, staring at photos of Ploy and me together, trying to figure out when she'd started lying and when I'd started believing lies were love. I didn't call Ploy the next day, or the day after that. I needed time to process what I'd learned, to figure out what I was going to do with the truth. On the third day, she called me. "Mark, why you not answer my messages? I'm worried about you." Her voice sounded so concerned, so genuinely caring, that for a moment I almost forgot she'd been lying to me for months. "I've been thinking," I said. "About what?" "About us, about our future, about whether we should get married before the baby comes or wait until after." "Oh." She sounded surprised by the change of topic. "What do you think?" "I think we should do it soon. This week, actually. I found a simple ceremony venue that's available. Nothing fancy, just us and a few witnesses. What do you say?" "This week? But I'm still not feeling well. And we haven't planned anything." "We don't need to plan anything elaborate. Just a simple civil ceremony. To make it legal. We can have a bigger celebration later, after the baby comes." I don't know. Maybe we should wait." "Why? Don't you want to be married when our son is born?" Silence. "Ploy, don't you want to marry me?" "Of course I do. It's just very fast. We're having a baby together in 6 months. That's faster than a wedding." "Okay," she said finally. "If that's what you want, we can get married this week." "Great. Come back to Bangkok tomorrow, and we'll handle all the paperwork." "I can't come back yet. Doctor says..." "Ploy, enough." My voice was calm, but something in my tone must have warned her. "Enough what?" "Enough lies. I know you're not pregnant. I know you dropped out of university. I know you've been in Bangkok this whole time. I know about your boyfriend. I know where my money really went." The silence stretched for so long I wondered if she'd hung up. "Ploy? How? How do you know?" Her voice was small, defeated. For the first time in months, she sounded like she was telling the truth. "Does it matter how I know?" "Mark, I can explain." "I'm sure you can. You're very good at explaining things. Very creative. It's not what you think." "What do I think, Ploy?" "You think I never cared about you. But that's not true. I did care. I do care." I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You have a funny way of showing it." "At first, yes, I was only thinking about money. You were just another lonely Farang who looked easy. But then I got to know you, and you were different. You were kind. You made me feel special. Special enough to stop lying to me. I wanted to stop. So many times I wanted to tell you the truth. But then you would give me money and talk about our future. I told you the truth. You would leave. And I wasn't ready for you to leave. So you decided to pretend you were pregnant instead." "The pregnancy, that was Nin's idea, my boyfriend. He said foreign men always stay when there's a baby involved." Hearing her call someone else her boyfriend felt like being stabbed. Even knowing the truth, it still hurt. "How long were you going to keep it up? Until I noticed you weren't getting bigger? Until the fake due date came and went?" "I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. I just wanted more time with you." "Time with me? Or time with my money?" "Both," she said quietly. "I know that makes me a terrible person." At least she was being honest now. "Where are you really, Ploy?" "At Nin's apartment. I've been staying here since I told you I went to see my family." "And he's okay with you calling another man every day, talking about love and babies? He thinks it's funny. He calls you my walking ATM." Each word hit like a physical blow. I'd thought I was prepared for the truth, but hearing it laid out so plainly was worse than I'd imagined. "Did you ever love me?" Even a little? Yes. In my way. You were good to me, Mark. Better than any man I've ever known. But I couldn't love you the way you loved me. I'm not capable of that kind of love. Why not? Because I've been taking care of myself since I was 14. Because I learned early that men leave, but money can solve problems. Because I'm not the sweet university girl you fell in love with. That was just a character I played. I closed my eyes. Who are you really? Someone who makes bad choices. Someone who lies to survive. Someone who thought she could fake love long enough to maybe learn how to feel it for real. And did you? Learn how to feel it? Long pause. I learned that you deserved better than me. But by then, I was in too deep to stop. We sat in silence for a moment, both of us processing the end of something that was never really real to begin with. What happens now? She asked. Now you disappear from my life forever. Mark. Number. Don't say my name. Don't apologize. Don't ask for forgiveness. Just disappear. What about the money? Keep it. Consider it payment for the most expensive education I've ever received. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know you are, but sorry doesn't fix anything. I hung up the phone and immediately blocked her number. The next few weeks passed in a blur of paperwork and arrangements. I had to cancel the wedding venues that didn't exist, close the joint bank account I'd opened for our future, and explain to my company why I'd be returning to Denver earlier than planned. My boss was understanding. These things happen, he said. Take some time off when you get back. Figure out your next move. But I wasn't ready to go back to Denver yet. Not ready to face the questions from friends and family who'd been excited about my Thai girlfriend and our upcoming wedding. Not ready to return to the same empty house where I'd video called Ploy every night, planning a future that was built on lies. Instead, I decided to stay in Bangkok for a few more weeks. Not to chase after Ploy or try to get closure, but to figure out how I'd become someone who could be so thoroughly deceived. I moved out of my hotel and into a small apartment near my office. Started eating at different restaurants, exploring different neighborhoods, trying to reclaim the city that had become contaminated with memories of her. One evening, I was having dinner alone when my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Mark, this is Ploy's roommate, Nim. Can we meet? I have something to tell you. I stared at the message for a long time. Part of me wanted to ignore it, to keep moving forward without looking back. But curiosity won. We met at a coffee shop near her university. Nim was nervous, fidgeting with her cup and avoiding eye contact. Thank you for coming, she said in careful English. I wasn't sure you would. What did you want to tell me? The truth. About Ploy. About everything. I already know the truth. No, you know some of it, but not all. She took a deep breath and started talking. What she told me over the next hour was worse than anything I'd imagined. Ploy's real name wasn't even Ploy. It was Siriporn, and she was 24, not 21. She'd been running romance scams on foreign men for 3 years, ever since she dropped out of high school to support her drug-addicted mother. She very good at reading people, Nim explained. She study men for weeks before approaching them. Learn what they want to hear, what kind of woman they're looking for. So everything was calculated from the beginning. Yes. Even the coffee shop, where you met. She heard you would be there from someone who works at your company. I felt sick. How many other men? Before you? Maybe 7 or 8. You were different, though. How? Usually she get money fast and disappear. With you, she stayed long time. I think maybe she really did have feelings. That doesn't make it better. No, but it make it more complicated. She was crying for weeks after you found out. Real crying, not fake crying. I didn't want to hear about Ploy crying. I didn't want to feel sympathy for someone who'd manipulated me so completely. Why are you telling me this? Because you were kind to her. Even when you angry, you didn't try to hurt her. Most men, when they find out the truth, they get violent or call police. You just walked away. What did you expect me to do? I don't know. But Ploy said you were a different kind of man. Said maybe if she'd met you when she was younger, before she learned to lie, things could have been different. But she didn't meet me when she was younger. She met me when she was a professional liar. Yes. And now she has to live with that. Nim reached into her purse and pulled out an envelope. She asked me to give you this. She said not to read it if you don't want to, but she needed to write it. I took the envelope, but didn't open it. Is she still with her boyfriend? He left when the money stopped coming, found another girl to use. I almost felt bad for her. Almost. What will she do now? I don't know. Maybe go back to her province. Maybe find another foreigner. Maybe try to get a legitimate job, but that's hard without education. We sat in silence for a moment. Do you hate her? Nim asked. I hate what she did to me. I hate that she made me doubt my ability to judge people. I hate that she turned one of the best experiences of my life into one of the worst. But do you hate her? I thought about it. I don't hate her. I feel sorry for her. Sorry that she learned to survive by using people. Sorry that she'll probably never know what real love feels like. Sorry that she destroyed something that could have been beautiful if it had been real. Nim nodded. She knows this. It's why she's sorry. Sorry doesn't change anything. But maybe it means something that she's capable of sorry. After Nim left, I sat in the coffee shop for another hour, staring at the unopened letter. Finally, I put it in my pocket without reading it. Some truths are too dangerous to know. I'm back in Denver now, living in the same house I lived in before Thailand, but everything feels different. The divorce papers that used to sit on my kitchen counter have been filed away. The emptiness that drove me halfway around the world has been replaced by something else. Not happiness exactly, but a kind of hard-earned wisdom. I never read Ploy's letter. I carried it around for weeks, moving it from pocket to pocket, telling myself I'd open it when I was ready. But I realized I'd never be ready, and more importantly, I didn't need to be. Whatever she wrote wouldn't change what happened or how I felt about it. It would just be more words from someone who'd proven that her words meant nothing. I threw it away on my last day in Bangkok. My friends ask me about Thailand sometimes. They want to know if I'm bitter, if I hate all Thai women now, if I'll ever trust again. The answers are no. No. And I hope so. What happened to me wasn't about Thai culture or age differences or East meets West romance gone wrong. It was about one person who learned to survive by manipulating others, and another person who wanted to believe in love so badly that he ignored obvious warning signs. I could have been scammed just as easily by an American woman, or a British woman, or a woman from anywhere else in the world. Loneliness makes you vulnerable in any language. The money I lost doesn't matter. It was just money, and I can earn more money. The time I lost matters more, but I'm 42, not 72. I have time to recover from this, to learn from it, to maybe even find real love someday. What matters most is that I know myself better now. I know the difference between being kind and being naive. I know that cultural sensitivity doesn't mean suspending all critical thinking. I know that real love doesn't require constant financial proof. I also know that I'm capable of deeper feelings than I thought. Even though it was built on lies, what I felt for Ploy was real. The love was real, even if she wasn't. That gives me hope that I can feel that way again, with someone who deserves it. 3 months ago, I started seeing someone new. Jennifer is a teacher, divorced like me, with 2 teenage kids and a mortgage, and all the complicated reality that comes with being an adult in America. She's nothing like the fantasy I chased in Thailand. She's better. She doesn't need me to rescue her, or support her, or solve her problems. She has her own life, her own money, her own dreams. When she smiles at me, I don't wonder what she wants or what it's going to cost me. When she says she loves me, I believe her because her actions match her words. We're taking it slow, really slow. I've told her about Thailand, about Ploy, about how badly I got burned. She listens without judgment and doesn't try to fix me or promise that she's different. She just shows me day by day that healthy relationships exist. Sometimes I wonder what happened to Ploy, whether she found another foreigner to deceive, or whether she finally tried to build an honest life. I hope it's the latter, but I'll never know, and that's okay. I learned something important in Thailand. You can't save people who don't want to be saved. You can't love someone into being honest. You can't throw money at problems and expect them to disappear. But you can learn to recognize red flags. You can learn to trust your instincts. You can learn that being alone is better than being with someone who sees you as an opportunity instead of a person. Most importantly, you can learn that getting your heart broken doesn't mean you have to keep it broken forever. I still think about Thailand sometimes. Not about Ploy, but about the parts that were real. The temples at sunrise, the street food vendors, the way the whole city seemed to pulse with life. Maybe someday I'll go back, not running from something or chasing someone, but just to visit a place that taught me important lessons about myself. But for now, I'm content to be home, content to build something real with someone real, content to be someone who loved foolishly but learned wisely. My name is Mark, I'm 43 years old, and I survived a broken heart in Bangkok. It wasn't the ending I planned, but it wasn't the ending of me either. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is having your worst fears confirmed.